welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then just welcome, and I hope that you will stick around. Today I'm out with another crochet tutorial, and this time I'm going to teach you how you can crochet a poncho, and I will actually explain you two different methods in the way how you can make it. And as always, I have made sure that this tutorial is as beginner friendly as possible, so I'm explaining everything in as much detail as I can, but otherwise I can promise you that this project is truly beginner friendly. So whether you are starting your crochet journey just now, or if you're looking just for a simple project to keep your hands busy, then this is a perfect tutorial for you. But now, without further ado, let's jump into it. Here are the materials that I will be using. Here I have some 4-ply cotton yarn in cream white, and here are some more specs just in case if you are wondering about this specific brand. And of course we will also need a crochet hook. Throughout this project I will be using 3.5mm hook, but in the beginning, to make our chains a little bit looser, I will have my 5mm hook. However, this is optional and you can just naturally try to make your chains a little bit looser. And then of course we will also need scissors at the very end, but now let's get started. So to begin, our first step is to do a slip knot, and for that I'm just grabbing my yarn like this, then I twist it, and through this loop I grab yarn and pull it up to create a knot and a little bit bigger loop. And then after that I'm grabbing my crochet hook. In this case, to make my chains a little bit looser, I'm using my 5mm hook, and then I'm just adjusting the size of this loop so it actually fits our hook. And then after that we can proceed further with doing some chains, and to do a chain you just have to yarn over and then pull it through like this. So that is the whole process, just yarning over and pulling through the loop that you have on your hook like this. So here I have done few chains already, and basically you just have to proceed doing as many as it's required. So in total it measures from your shoulder to your waist. And here I have all my chains ready, and in total I ended up doing 60 chains. So now that this is done, we can basically switch our hooks. So instead of using my 5mm hook, I'm switching to the 3.5mm hook. So I'm just putting it here on the loop and just again adjusting the size of this loop. And now we can proceed with the following rows, and throughout the following rows we will basically be doing double treble crochets. And to begin, we first just have to chain 5 extra chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and this chain of 5 is going to count as our first double treble crochet. And then starting from the next chain here at the bottom, this is where we are going to place in our first official stitch. And for that we first just have to yarn over 3 times, so 1, 2 and 3 like this. Then we are going through this chain here at the bottom and grabbing yarn and pulling it up to have 5 loops on our hook, and then we are yarning over and going through pairs of 2. So this is once, then again yarning over and going through the next 2 loops like this. We have 3 left on our hook, then yarning over again and going through the next 2 like this, yarning over and going through the following 2 like that. So this is our first double treble crochet, and then we are just proceeding further with the following chains here that we have. So let's do another one together. So first we are yarning over 3 times, so 1, 2 and 3 like this. Then we are going through this chain like that and grabbing yarn and pulling it up to have 5 loops on our hook. Then we are yarning over and pulling through the first 2 like this, yarning over again and pulling through the next 2 like that, yarning over and pulling through 2, and then yarning over and pulling through the remaining 2 like this. So here we already have a couple of double treble crochet stitches, and now we are just repeating this process by going through every single chain that we have here until we have reached the beginning where we started with these chains. So basically just repeat this process until you reach this point here when you have gone through all the chains that you have. And now here I have completed the first row, and this is how it looks. So now that this is done, we can just proceed further with the following rows. And here I am at the end of this first row. So now to get started with the second one, we first just have to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and as always this chain of 5 is going to count as one double treble crochet, so we just have to keep that in mind. And then once that's done, we can just turn our work and proceed further with working on the second row. And basically, because these 5 chains already count as a stitch, we can skip this first stitch that we have here and right away proceed with the next one. And again, the process is the same. We are just using the same stitches, so double treble crochet, and I'm just yarning over 3 times, and then again going through the stitch and basically placing one double treble crochet on top of every single stitch that I have. So here I have already started with this second row and added 1 stitch, and then I'm just proceeding further and just, as I said, placing one double treble crochet on top of every single stitch that we have here. So here I already have a couple, and then we are just going through all the following stitches that we have. And here I have reached the end of the second row, and this is how it looks. So now once we are here, we actually also have to remember that we have to place a stitch here on top of these 5 chains that we did in the very beginning, because those are also counting as a double treble crochet. So again, the same process, we just have to make sure that we are placing a stitch here, and here I'm basically just going through this top chain in here and then just performing this double treble crochet as I would normally do, like this. So now also this second row is finalized, and this is basically the end of it. And from now on, basically what we have to do is that we just have to keep on repeating this second row and all the process and stitches that we had for it until we create one big rectangle. And here I have all my rows ready. I ended up doing 53 rows, which took me approximately 3 skeins of 4-ply cotton yarn. And if I measure this panel, it measures approximately up to my wingspan. And now that this panel is finalized, we can actually proceed further with assembling it into a poncho. And for that, we basically have 2 options. The most basic one is that we would fold this rectangle into a half, and then we would connect sides of the rows here at the top part while also leaving enough space for the neck and shoulders. The other option is that we would connect stitches of the final row with the sides of the rows from the beginning of this project to kind of create an L shape. And in this case, I will proceed with the first option. So here I have folded my work in half, and here is the point where I finished my last row. So actually, without cutting off any yarn, we are right away proceeding with connecting the sides of these rows. And in this case, we will basically be starting from this point and then moving further on this side. So we are just ensuring that we are not having too many loose ends. But now we can proceed with connecting sides of these rows. And in my case, I will be connecting approximately 10 to 12 rows here on this side, but otherwise you can measure as you go to check that you have enough space for your neck part and that you also feel comfortable with this part here. But now let's proceed with connecting the sides of these rows, and for that I will basically be doing slip stitches. And here I have this last loop from finishing the final stitch of the final row, and basically I'm just removing my crochet hook and then finding the corner of this beginning of this panel and just going in there, and then again grabbing this loop where we finalize the stitch and just pulling it through the beginning of this panel like that. So now we have kind of like connected these points together, and then once that's done we can just chain one so we can proceed further and start connecting these rows with slip stitches. And since these stitches are quite long, we will try to do approximately 3 slip stitches per each side of this row. So to do a slip stitch, we basically first just have to go through the side of this stitch in here. So I'm just going through a random loop here that I have, and then also trying to go through the same spot here on the other side of this panel. So going in there like that, then we are grabbing yarn and pulling it through both stitches to have 2 loops on our hook, and then this final loop we are also pulling it through the loop that we had on our hook initially like that. So that's 1 slip stitch, and then we are kind of just repeating the same thing. So again, I'm going through this same stitch here, then going through the other stitch and trying to go through the same point kind of, then grabbing yarn and pulling it through, and then also pulling it through the loop on our hook like this. So these are 2 slip stitches already, and then just repeating it one more time. So going through the final bit of the side of these stitches and also doing a slip stitch in there like this. So now we have done 3 slip stitches through the side of these stitches, and then the final one we will basically be placing in between the rows. So I'm just going through the part here, so in between the rows here, and then also on the other panel, so trying to go through the same point and also doing a slip stitch in there like this. So now these rows are connected, and this is how it looks from this side. And then if we check it on the other side, you can see that we have kind of connected it very smoothly. And then basically we just have to proceed and continue doing the same thing up until we have connected. In my case, I will be doing 10 to 12 rows, but just feel free to measure what is the best fit and look for yourself. And then I will meet you back again once this is done. And then once that is done, we can fasten off, and for that I normally just chain 1 like this, then I make my loop a little bit longer, and then I grab my scissors and cut off yarn, and then as it's cut off, we can tighten it in a secure knot just by pulling this loose end like this. And then once this is done, our very last step is to weave in all of the loose ends that we might have. And for that, I normally use my crochet hook with my work being turned inside out. And then I just go through random stitches inside the back side and grab this loose end and just weave it in so it's not hanging and it's not visible, and our work is looking pretty also from the inside. So just do that with all the loose ends that you have. And here I have my poncho finalized, and this is how it looks on me once I'm trying it on. And I'm absolutely in love with how it turned out, and it's truly magical how simple projects like this can turn out to be so beautiful. So that is basically it from me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this tutorial is going to be useful for you in case you are planning to make your own poncho, or at least if I gave you some other ideas for future projects. I got really hooked actually on this poncho idea, so I might do some more tutorials in the future with different methods, how to make it, how to assemble it, how to create panels, and using different stitches. So opportunities are basically endless, but please let me know in the comment section below if you would be interested, and I will try to add some more tutorials on my to-do list. But otherwise, if you did enjoy this video, then please give me a big thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe. And if you would like to support my work even further, then please consider joining my memberships page here on YouTube. It really helps me keep on going, and your support would of course be super appreciated. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!